Yeah, we could straight up, at this point, beat the game tonight. But that would mean missing out on a lot of support conversations, and I don't know if people care that much. I care some. Oh, hey, cool. Raphael's good to go. What about Claude? Claude needs Marianne.
Wait a minute.
Petra.
If there's a couple more months left, there's no way we're going to be able to beat it tonight.
I mean, straight up, if we ignored every side bit, we could totally see the ending. But that'd be less interesting. I do wish support conversations carried over to New Game Plus or something.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
We've only been able to manage maybe 1.5 months a night.
Let's see. So, Ignatz needs Mercedes, Flame. Unfortunately, some of these characters that are not, like, tanky are kind of a problem. Because, like, it's going to be really hard to get their support conversations up. At least from the non-main character crew along the way. Let's see. So this is Marianne. Marianne needs Ash, Linhart, and Hanneman. Hilda needs Sedith, Cyril, Caspar. Leonie needs Shamir and Sedith. I just don't know who necessarily to use anymore because the combinations are starting to get a little murky.
At this point, everyone pretty much lacks aids with one another.
Yeah.
It just seems to be like that.
Yeah, I've also noticed I barely used any of the Black Eagles. I used a fair amount of the Blue Lions, but like the Black Eagles, with the exception of Bernadetta and Dorothea, I never used Ferdinand and Linhart. I used Petra a little bit.
Yeah, Petra a bit.
Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, Bernadetta. It's Ferdinand and Linhart. I just don't know how to, like, bring everybody out and actually have them get the support conversations I need in the least amount of time. I mean, it looks like we're going to need Linhart, Caspar at the very least. What about Ash? Ash needs people. Ash's problem. Okay, units. Let's turn everybody off. So we need Caspar, we need Ferdinand, Dorothea, Linhart. We need Ash. I don't know if we need Marianne in this group. What does Petra need from her people? Nope, I totally forgot. Anywho. Let's see. So, Petra needs Ash, does not need Bernadetta, does need Linhart. Shamir and Cyril. Felix, surprisingly, has few support conversations. At least with the main team, which is kind of annoying. God, I just don't know which characters to use. The easiest options for me to some degree would just be to have each of these characters with an adjutant and then just like go faster that way. I'm just trying to like maximize time here and it never works. Okay, we did need Bernadetta. What else do we need on this list? I'm just trying to get as many catch-all as I can, because if you notice, like, Ingrid, for example, pretty much has everybody. Problem solved. Sedith, not so much so. So I could give Sedith, Blaine, or Leonie, or something, or... Let's just see who else does Ferdinand need. Blaine and Mercedes. Just chuck them into the list. And then box them all together, and then we'll just be good enough. Probably Hanneman and Catherine. And hopefully they'll just generate enough friendship points that everything will be okay. Oh. Or not. Okay, what about Catherine? Catherine still needs Shamir and Lysithia. It still shocks me that Catherine has not racked up enough friendship points with Shamir. Because I, like, incessantly pair them together.
Maybe it takes more times if they're just in an add-on versus an actual player on the field?
I think it just takes a while to get from B to A, is the real answer.
Mm-hmm.
So Ferdinand.
That would make sense.
Needs Manuela. This is... I really wish there was an easier, like, UI thing, so I wouldn't have to keep flipping back and forth between these. Because, unfortunately, the game is not designed in a way that, you can collect all these friendship points easily.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have a ton, so... Why don't you just finish this battle, and then we can see the ones that you have.
Yeah, it'll be easier once I don't have to, like, flip through all of these. Petra and Claude. That's an easy answer. Okay. But yeah, being able to actually, like, switch the, have a lot of this information available in the UI would make a nice difference here.
Put me in there.
Like, it'd also be really nice if you could see the potential, like, who can friendship out of the characters that you're currently, like, moving around. Because once I get into this battle, I almost immediately lose track of, like, who can friendship who, because, like, holy crap, there's just so much to keep track of. Oh, well, I'll just be good enough and we'll just figure it out. Yeah, Fire Emblem, endless menus. It's, yeah, that's an accurate assessment.
Hey, when you highlighted the character, it showed
It
their
does show
ranking.
their current level with the character, which is good, but I don't see, for example, Ferdinand as C with a bunch of characters, but the question is are any of those about to rank up? I don't know. I wish it actually had, like, different color coding. Like, if a character doesn't have C with them, but could have C with them, like, say, I don't know, Dorothy and Ash, if it would have, like, a black C. And then if they have C and can't go up higher, it would just be a filled-in C.
Or
And
if they're going to get seen, they're just waiting
yeah,
to have the conversation.
like,
And-
almost even if, like, the C filled in blue as you got closer to becoming friends with them, I don't know. There's a lot of different ways that they could do it, but don't do it.
I'll crush them all.
Let's see. Shot. Can I hit the other guy? No, I can't. Just Deadeye this guy. There we go. Please die. Thank you.
Well, what's going on?
Let's see. Just trying to keep up on chat.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Anything else? Nope. A lot of archers here.
Yep, and that's not going to be good for Caspar. I always want to call him Caspar.
I mean, yeah. It is not far off of Casper. Okay. Anybody else? Nope. It's gonna keep cycling turns. Hopefully they get enough friendship points with
Isn't
this.
Caspar the Friendly Ghost originally a 1940s animation?
I think it was a comic, actually.
It may have been a comic before it was an animation, but I just remember that the oldest animations of Caspar were probably back from the Little Lulu and early animation era.
Let's see. Nope. Should be good. Just gonna keep cycling turns. On the plus side, since we're on casual mode, taking too much damage here also, well, like, losing characters doesn't matter too much. I'll try and save them in the plot missions because I feel bad, but
Wait, did you lose a character?
nope. Not
Okay.
not yet.
Not yet. Now, those rogues can be deadly right there. The swordsman.
Yep. Why, Petra's here.
Witness frigid pride.
Yeah, so they're not getting any more friendship points. And I know Catherine can get friendship points with somebody, but I'm not 100% sure. This is inconvenience.
Put me in there. Who's next? Get in line.
Okay. The weird part is, for killing that guy, he got friendship points with, like, just random people in the kind of entire formation. I don't really know how the logic of any of this works.
Mm-hmm.
It works. It just is confusing. Let's see. I'm gonna move Mercedes here. Linhart for Bernadetta.
I'll do what it takes.
There we go.
Great job.
Just gonna cycle people around the friendships somehow. Problem is they keep coming to attack Flame, which is annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even sure who Flame can friendship in this formation.
So who do you think will fight at Mercius? Because it's the stronghold that comes before the Empire, capital, Venbar.
Things up.
Do you think it'll be Hubert? Do you think Edelgard will
Yeah, I'm
still be present?
surprised we haven't straight up killed Hubert at this point. Like, I was kind of expecting
Attack at your own
that
risk.
Hubert would have gotten, like, wrecked.
Well, it could have been that at the battle of the three armies there, or I suppose the renewed Eagle and Lion, that you would have potentially all of the underlings that weren't the primary character alongside.
Yeah, I think
The
we
main
would have
house
probably
leaders.
killed quite a lot of the,
We probably would have killed the other students if we hadn't allied ourselves with all of them, or at least they'd come over to our house. So, I'm thinking that we will inevitably kill Hubert at some point. Dedue, however, survived that last conflict.
yeah.
And he's potentially leading the remnants of Fargus's army, but would he be willing to ally himself with, well, the Alliance?
It's win.
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't think Dedue is. I was reading discussion threads and, like, associated other things, and people were talking about how it's kind of frustrating.
Fight anymore. Must retreat while I can.
Oh, Gauntlet. Not Gaunt. Let's see. Let's see. I was gonna say, sorry for not interacting with chat more today. I've just been focused on it. Also, I don't know, when I get to, like, Super RPG mode, I don't chat as much. Let's see, who can she attack? She can just attack anybody. Get up and flying. Okay, so she can interact with... Might as well just let times go. Ah. I am easily distracted.
Battle does have
At least tonight. Freaking the, up, and Linhart goes down. And no one cares.
So how have you found the level creep with these characters? Because you've been grinding with your cast a bit.
So I've been grinding with a lot of the, like, B-listers, which certainly changes...
Oh, right, so they were already underleveled.
Amazing.
Okay, but as far as level creep goes, since I've been using a lot of my, like, B-listers, nothing is... Okay, so we actually have to do these missions. Sorry, I left it on one of the other ones. Because I've been using my B-listers, many of them are underleveled or underpowered, so these have actually been... well, these have had some of the highest fatality rates I've seen so far in this playthrough. Largely just because, like, yeah, somebody just comes through and murks Ash in, like, one round, or, like, Ash is caught out by, like, 3 people.
Wait, you're doing another battle?
We have to do 2 more. I mean, we don't have to.
What do you mean by 2 more?
You know how you have, like, those activity points? I had been doing the non-timed ones.
I see.
Yeah. Oh, God, I don't even know.
I think we're at the point where even if we do get everyone's support conversations Do we really...
care? Yeah, so my first and general goal is to get most of the golden deer to interact with each other. So, like, if you notice, Lorenz is pretty much golden. The only character he can't talk with is Dorothea. Ignatz is pretty close there. Lysithea does not have as many people to talk to. And she can get a fair amount of friendship points just by running around in the world. Same thing with Hilda. Most of my mainliners are the ones that are easy to work with. The main problem is characters like Linhardt, who aren't very strong or very durable. It's very hard to farm friendship with them. Go and do units. Turn everybody off. Okay, Ferdinand. Give him Linhardt. Put Bernadetta behind and Dorothea behind. And then we want Caspar. Support. Let's check Caspar. Who can Caspar friend? Unfortunately, not really anybody because he's a flyer. But he can stand...
At this point, he's going to have C support with a lot of people. There's no point in grinding them up further. Actually, isn't that true? That if they get up to C...
Yeah, they can't get any more
then they
friendship
can't
points.
get any more
I really wish there was
points.
overflow. That, like, you could actually do C, B, and A and just, like, go nuts with characters. Having to, like, bow out just to get the C conversation and keep pushing their friendship is...
Because at this point, Caspar looks like he's about C with everyone and shouldn't even be on the battlefield.
It's just an extra step of inconvenience that I wish I could avoid. Let's see. Raphael... Okay, Raphael has his flaying conversation, so...
Oh, yeah. Everyone's fine.
Hilda. No, we want to use characters that I almost don't use. Let's do Ash and Marianne. That's one. Okay. So we're going to have Ferdinand in front, surrounded by Ash, Bernadetta, and Dorothea. So who's somebody that Bernadetta can interact with? Not much. Oh wait, no, plenty. It's not actually as large of a list as I was expecting. Okay, what about Dorothea? Who can she interact with that we can pair her off with? Hanneman! Okay, Dorothea gets the Hanneman.
You just enjoy saying his name.
I do. Okay. So this should probably work better.
For anything.
Oh, you're actually
fighting.
underutilizing your
I do
potential
this for all of
forces.
us.
Yep, to maximize the amount of potential friendship points we can grab. By surrounding one character primarily, all of these characters nearby should get friendship points. Plus the adjutants and associated everybody else.
And the fact that you have them bottlenecking on a bridge means that they have to approach you from that direction unless there are flyers.
Yep. Oh, her training bow broke. Doesn't make sense.
Unstoppable.
Unfortunately, I don't know if you get friendship points that way.
What way?
I'd be honored.
I don't know what exactly triggers friendship points. Usually it has to be characters within range, but not always. I found gambits work pretty well.
Well, that's because everyone's involved.
Yeah. But, like, for example, Bernadetta can be standing next to a bunch of people and snipe somebody from far away. And sometimes they'll get a shit ton of points, and other times they won't get any. I think, because, well, we didn't even get friendship points. I don't know. I'm also not sure if the hearts need to show up or not, or...
Well, first off, is he approaching C rank with these characters, or does he have not even C filled in with them?
Let's see. So, if you check, he's got C with Dorothea and Bernadetta, but nothing with Ash.
But has he spoken with Bernadetta and Dorothea?
I must steel myself.
Yes.
Okay.
I think. I wouldn't have brought them along if not.
Yeah, because then we wouldn't be able to actually accumulate further points.
But again, like, this is why I wish the UI...
Told you.
Yeah, was, like, slightly more robust. Because...
Is this going to be the final battle before we do a bunch of conversations?
Yeah. One more battle after this.
One more after this one?
No time for pity.
Ah.
I know. But it seems like the go-to is probably just to do all the fighting with Ferdinand, but I'm also not entirely sure. He might have just, like, immediately gotten all the friendship points he needed, because I'm not seeing any more conversations here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
So, overall, after having gotten to know the majority of the characters from the 3 houses, do you still find that of all the houses, the Golden Deer house probably still has the majority of the characters you enjoy?
Yes. Yes and no.
I must
Raphael. as I
Raphael.
mentioned.
So part of it is I've been enjoying Claude and his interactions and like the actual main story plots. As far as characters that I really have enjoyed, interestingly enough, Sylvain. I think.
Isn't Sylvain from the Fargus?
Kingdom.
Yeah. Which is the kingdom.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, Sylvain is probably one of the more interesting characters. I
And-
like Lysithea.
Lysithea, though, is from the Alliance.
Yeah. Raphael still captured my heart and has kept it just because he's a more interesting character.
Mm-hmm. Ignatz is a bit more passive, and Lorenz is a bit annoying.
Yeah, I think part of the problem with
war.
Ignatz...
Hilda can be endearing, but she's annoying too.
Well, I think the
at
main
times.
problem with Hilda is that almost all of her plot points have been largely...
Oh, do something for me. I'm going to trick you to do something for me.
Yeah.
Ah.
And, like, I guess Sylvain is kind of one note with, like, how he handles things, too.
But when he does open up about his perception of crests and such, that's when you get to see him, or at least the true Sylvain.
Mm-hmm.
How he isn't just a philanderer.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of characters that I like the best. Okay, so let's check supports with Ferdinand. So, he now has support conversations with everybody except for Mercedes and Flame, so that's what I was aiming for. Dorothea, did you get anything with Hanneman? No. I'll live.
You should.
Bernadetta.
I suppose Lysithea is going to be with Hanneman so that she'll get closer to getting cured.
Yeah. Well, because Lysithea is one of my main plot people, also she has a conversation with Hanneman. I'm just probably going to pair Lysithea with Hanneman constantly, and that should solve the problem. Let's see. So next up would be like Felix, Sylvain, and Leonie.
I do want to see the end results of Sylvain, Felix, and Ingrid,
Yeah.
because they are supposed to be childhood friends.
Okay, so we want to do Leonie. Felix is probably at the bottom, and Sylvain. And let's see. So Leonie also needs a conversation with those two.
Really,
Probably-
Shamir.
Probably give her Sedith, actually. Just because they fight with each other often, but they're not going to see each other often. Let's see. Where's Sylvain? There's Sylvain. Okay, give Sylvain... Because he's got Ingrid. Dorothea. What about Felix? What else does Felix need?
Mercedes.
Yeah, it
There's-
looks like Mercedes is the easy option. And then one last check. Are there any other characters? Because I could just line all three of these characters up. Let's see. Lysithea is also saved with Linhart and Claude, not just Hanneman.
I think we already got to max with Claude, and they didn't even mention crests.
Yeah,
It was
but
rather bizarre.
maybe Claude. No. I just know it's going to be really hard to get the Linhardt one, whereas like Hanneman's possible, and the idea of her being his assistant is kind of adorable in its own way.
Why, you looked into that?
Yeah.
Ah.
Okay, that's good enough. Is it? We should have one healer. Oh. Easy answer. Singular healer. X. There we go.
My orders?
Wait,
Good. Hold that point.
all that preparation for 4 characters
What's the
and what,
plan?
3 add-ons?
I'll cut through.
Yep. I mean, like, part of it is I really am just hunting for stragglers at this point. You know, what characters have I not
What's my strategy?
interacted with much? And the answer is not actually that many. Like, we're pretty close to ready to have a conversation with actually everyone.
I'm still waiting for you to have the A-rank conversation with Lane. I don't know when that's happening.
Don't underestimate us. Make a difference.
I was hoping that would. Oh, interesting. It actually knocked her backwards.
And probably Seteth.
It was meant to be.
You probably want your character to have max rank with Seteth and Flame,
Yeah.
just because they're the closest kindred you have, potentially.
Okay. So this should work as friendship farming with
Strong.
all of them. Let's see, assist. Because he's mildly injured. Coming to attack X. They better not. He doesn't need it. Let's see. Oh, Steel Lance. Don't use the Steel Lance.
How about a curtsy?
That's bad. Okay. But yeah, it's just really hard to like collect all the A-rank conversations, to be honest. Because there is just a lot of...
Let's win this already.
There's a lot of... I'm not going to say detail involved, but it's just time-consuming. Getting exactly what you want, getting everybody together, talking to them all, getting them in battle, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. I wish you could, like, facilitate gift-giving across characters or something.
You'll need me for this.
So it's like, hey, Sylvain, dump roses on this character, or something like that. But I think really it just boils down to trying to get every support conversation across every character up to maximum in one playthrough is just a gigantic chore,
Which
and no one should normally do it.
Which I think is another reason why people are encouraged to play it 3 times over or 4 times over for the different side plots.
Nothing personal. All right. Next.
Which does make sense. Okay, battle's done.
Yes, now are we going on to the support conversations?
Oh yeah.
At
Which
last,
means I'm gonna hand
all
you...
of them. It'll be a feast for your eyes.
I'm gonna hand you
My thank you so
the
much.
controller. I guess a day or two is gonna pass, and then you're going to just go on a
Thanks so much.
support conversation blitz, and I'm gonna wander off for a bit and grab some food.
I have gratitude.
And honestly, for the interest of time,
Thank you.
let's just go through as many of them and then talk about them after the fact, maybe? Unless
Much
any are
appreciated.
particularly notable.
I usually like to have just a little. Oh, yeah, you're gonna have to.
Yeah. I still gotta
instruct
do
them.
a smidge here. We have instructions to do. With who, though? Heck if I know. Who needs it?
You remember who's? Oh, you're trying to boost his
It is a...
Riding.
horseback riding?
Can I...
Hmm.
Because there's the potential for him being like a holy knight, but like good lord is a little late.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know what to do with like half these characters. This section,
Why don't you just continue boosting the characters you use the most?
because they don't need it. I guess is the...
Some of them could get to A+, though. And yes, authority is also...
Yeah, a lot of characters do need authority experience. Because there's loads of battalions that I straight up just can't use.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a bit of an issue.
Probably should get his authority up, too.
Wow.
I was actually maybe gonna
Wow.
put some heavy, some into heavy armor. Because there's the
Oh.
Great Knight class. I don't know, I do miss just being able to get characters to, like, max level. Because it was, like, level 20 and then you could class them up. I kind of miss that system.
I really wish... I suppose I like that every character can become most anything. But I almost wish that some of them were...
More flexible.
No. Like, less so, actually. There's a such thing as there being too much choice, in my opinion. It'd be nice if some characters had a strength that pointed them in a particular direction. I know that you had characters with the little blue arrows that showed what their strengths were, but that way you wouldn't necessarily be wasting points on different paths.
I think my main issue is just that I didn't know what was required to make half these masterclass characters until, like, the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, once I unlocked them. So it's just like, well, now I have a bunch of, like, half-baked characters that, like, I guess I can use, but retooling them is annoying.
Oh yeah, definitely. If there was a game or a system where you didn't know what your end game was going to be for characters until you reach it, you could be building someone.
There's a lot of games where you actually can, like, kind of soft lock yourself or, like, soft prevent yourself from, like, using a character because it's like, oh, your build is just bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think System Shock 2 does
All the
that.
questioning.
Oh.
That's why all of the respecs are good too.
Yeah,
But
I like
that-
I
respecs.
think I've got the idea.
It's within my...
I think.
Perhaps I...
Okay, Shell.
All right.
Let's see. I guess I'm going to...
Certifications
I'm
now.
gonna do bad things for a second. We got some characters that can become things.
Well, at least that was 100% guaranteed.
Oh yeah. Well, most of these characters are gonna be getting close to 100% at this point. Because I'm not... I just gave up trying to, like, min-max it. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Whatever. We're just beelining for things. Because this one might be...
Aw. I mean, better than half. But she might fail.
Nope, she
did.
failed. Oh well.
Are you okay with losing a 3,000 gold master seal?
I have over 100,000.
Hey.
So, Linhart, nope, can't. Don't care, don't care.
Are you even going to use a net?
Not really. Ingrid is the one that I care about here. Yeah, Morrowind and Oblivion had that as well. And Skyrim. If you did all your trade skills, the enemies would scale up based on your level and you'd become... You'd actually get, like, you'd corner yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I need another one of these. Oh, he's actually pretty close. Let's see if I can go to the market. Nope. I guess we'll have to explore if I want to get that one. Alright, let's see.
You don't use Alois anyway. Is it alright if we start the conversation?
Yep, I was just gonna save and support.
Woo-wee.
Have fun, Shell.
Are you sure you're gonna want to miss these?
Start with the boring ones. I'll come in and out. If I miss any that are particularly notable, it'll be on YouTube, and I can watch it when I edit it.
Okay, so we have Claude and Ignatz. Let's see what they say.
Hey, Ignatz. Getting lost in your imagination again?
No, today I am praying.
To the rubble.
I'm hoping that if I pray with all my might, she will appear before me.
The goddess, you mean?
Yes. Perhaps it's strange to think about such things.
Nah, you're fine. If I had the chance to meet the goddess, I certainly wouldn't say no. Especially your version of the goddess, huh? A total looker, isn't that right?
That's a disrespectful way of putting it. I just believe that she's a divine beauty. She'd have to be, considering how she mesmerized the people of Fódlan when she walked among them.
Too true. No doubt an incomparable beauty, that one. Funny to think that even now she must be somewhere, right? Well, I guess she's just floating on a cloud or whatnot.
Yes, indeed. Watching over us from above. And they say that someday she will return to walk amongst us again.
Well, don't mind me. You go ahead and get some good praying in. If the goddess appears, you let me know, okay?
What? No! If she does appear, I want it to just be the goddess and me.
It'll be way better if I'm there too. I'm saying this for your benefit, Ignatz.
Why?
Imagine an incomparable beauty standing before you. Do you really think you'll be able to remain calm?
Well, that is to say...
But if I'm there, I can smooth things over. Have a nice chat, invite her to tea. Everything a goddess deserves.
Oh. Well, I suppose that makes sense.
Of course it does. Now, get on with it. Pray like you've never prayed before.
Ah, Claude. Stop toying with him. Let's see, we have Claude and... Oh, this is Shamir Part 2, or A with Ingrid. I'll do Shamir C Part 2. Probably about training.
Impressive as ever. It's always satisfying to see such skill in motion.
It's nothing to boast about. Just part of the job.
Sure, but I hear there wasn't a knight out there who could match your skill at reconnaissance and infiltration missions.
Don't forget assassination and coercion. Is there someone you need killed?
Ooh, so violent. Why would you jump to that conclusion?
You went out of your way to find me. I thought you might need a favor.
Sorry to disappoint, but I didn't come to request an assassination. I just want to talk.
With me?
Of course. You've piqued my interest for a while now. A little birdie told me you were born in Dagda. Is that true? That's pretty far away, beyond even Bridget to the west. So, what brought you to Fódlan?
I worked as a mercenary in Dagda. That is until I was defeated in battle against the Empire and left for dead.
I see. I'm surprised they didn't take you as their prisoner.
I know how to conceal myself.
Yeah, of course you do. Still, with your particular skill set, couldn't you make your way back to Dagda whenever you please?
That is true. I could return if I really wanted. But my interests have changed. For now, this is where I belong.
Where you belong, huh? That's heavy stuff. I wonder if this is where I really belong.
I wouldn't know. You need to figure that out yourself.
Interesting. So she was defeated in battle against the Empire and decided not to return to Dagda, but who knows what kind of society Dagda is. Suppose we can see what Claude and Lorenz have to say to one another.
Claude, are you aware of the most recent conflict within the Alliance?
Hello to you too, Lawrence. And you'll have to be more specific. The Alliance is always bickering over one thing or another.
Margrave Edmund is raising objections over the assignment of his troops to the eastern defenses.
If you please one noble, another will only gripe. No matter what happens, there will always be conflict.
That is just the kind of lackadaisical attitude that causes more conflict among us than necessary. Now, listen to me carefully. House Edmund may not hold much land, but the land they do control is quite rich. They also maintain a thriving port. Their influence is poised to rival even the most powerful players in the Alliance, yet they claim they cannot spare a fair share of troops? Do you find it acceptable to let such an obviously unreasonable objection stand?
It's not as though the threat of Elmira to the east has proven all that threatening of late.
Such negligence! What makes you so certain the Almirans will not attack us tomorrow? If certain dukes hold back their proper share of support, it will only serve to weaken House Goneril's hold of our eastern flank.
Calm yourself. I am well aware that the financial situation of House Edmund is quite exceptional. However, what you fail to realize is that they're lacking in troops. They're not lying when they say they don't have that many to spare. As it were, the Almirans have been nothing but peaceful since we refortified Fódlan's locket. And are you aware that Margrave Edmund paid the majority of the costs for those repairs?
Is that so?
In fact, it's largely thanks to the skilled craftsmen he assembled that the fortress is now so impregnable. I, for one, wouldn't want to attack a fortress as formidable as that.
I do see your point. If House Edmund has already made its fair contribution, then that is all we can ask. Very well. I withdraw my objection. But even the sturdiest fortress needs soldiers to defend it. If we continue to squabble amongst ourselves, it will eventually fall.
Well, and here I thought he only cared about status. Still, if someone like him really came to lead the Alliance, it would not bode well for Elmira.
At the same time, Claude could be facilitating this temporary peace with the Almirans. And then we have Claude and Ingrid.
Ah, hello, Ingrid. A good day to you.
Well, hello there. If it isn't Claude, always a pleasure.
You put in a fine performance in training today. I must redouble my own efforts.
That's kind of you to say.
By the by, do you have a moment to spare? I have been meaning to ask for your input on some new strategies.
Oh, goodness. Only if you think someone as lowly as myself might be of service.
But of course, I value your skills more highly than most any other.
Oh, goodness.
The way they're speaking.
Okay, time out. Listen, Ingrid, do you really have to say, oh goodness, every couple of seconds?
What do you expect? Speaking to me as you were, I only responded in kind.
What? Do I sound that strange? I thought I was acting earnest and industrious.
I mean, yes, you do. You sound nothing short of ridiculous.
Sheesh. Have you looked in a mirror lately? You're the one who's been walking around like Queen uptight.
Excuse me? I'll admit it was a bit forced, but it certainly doesn't warrant such a title.
Look, this was fresh and fun for a while, but maybe it's time we called it quits. Acting like this isn't us. We're just going to make everyone think we've gone mad.
I agree. I must say, I have an easier time getting on with you when you're you, and all your you-ness. Come to think of it, you've always been more reliable than most anyone I know, when it really mattered.
Well, thanks for saying that. I think I liked you better when you were a bit pricklier too. I've gone so long without hearing one of your lectures, I'm almost starting to miss them.
I'm sure I can remedy that for you.
I didn't mean you need to go all out or anything. A little restraint would still be nice.
My lectures, as you call them, only persist as long as is necessary.
Oh, I think I'm coming down with a stomachache. We'll talk later, okay? Okay, see ya.
You honestly expect me to believe that? Come back here, Claude.
And they actually have an A+ conversation too. That'll be interesting. Let's see. Oh wow, Lorenz has an opportunity to speak with pretty much everyone. Alright. Alright, Lorenz and Ignatz.
Ignatz, hello. What are you up to?
You frightened me.
Oh, calm yourself. What is it that you're drawing?
I thought I'd jot down some sketches of everyone while they're training. And then later on, I'll try to practice their moves on my own. But I can't really concentrate on sketching if someone's watching me.
Just sketches, Even so, they're lovely. There's such life in them. It's as if they're moving on the page before my very eyes.
You really think so? You know, I always hoped to be an artist.
With skills like that, I'm quite certain you could easily make a living of it. And your demeanor is different when you draw. Bolder somehow. Ah, yes, there's an idea. Perhaps in the future you will join my retinue as my personal painter. Wait, have we not discussed this arrangement already? I had decided to take you into my service as a knight, had I not?
Becoming a knight was my father's idea. Being an artist is out of the question, I'm afraid.
So you've said. Well then, I suppose you shall simply have to become a knight who also paints.
A knight who also paints?
I have seen your talent and can attest to it. Your gifts are too great to wither away in obscurity. A knight with the rare gift of artistic talent would be most welcome in my employ.
I had never thought of that. Still, I don't understand why you'd want me as one of your knights. As a fighter, I'm unremarkable.
There is more to knighthood than combat. Courtly manners, a dignified bearing, and an aesthetic sensibility are also essential. A knight with an eye for art and the talent to create it is sure to improve the image of the nobility.
Lorenz, I'd never have guessed you were prone to such eccentric ideas. Thank you. I'm feeling a little more confident after hearing your kind words.
Oh, no cause for thanks. It is a noble's duty to provide guidance to those in need.
Well, at least Lorenz is encouraging Ignatz's art. And also, there has to be something that knights do in peacetime. Let's see. I mean, he can speak. Just go down the list.
Yeah.
Alright, so we have a B+ for Lorenz and Lysithea.
Picking wildflowers? Seems such a common activity for someone like you.
To me, the most beautiful flower is the one that blossoms by its own strength. Lysithea, please accept this as...
Knock it off! Sorry. It's just that the thorns are a bit sharp, and I'm not a fan of killing nature.
True sympathy, even for the smallest wildflower. I admire your kindness. When you inherit your house, that kindness will be a balm to your subjects. They and the neighboring lords will trust you instinctively.
Politics. Again.
The Alliance has been harmed in the past by lords who thought only of themselves, who saw others as a means to an end. But you understand others' pain. With you around, I am quite hopeful that the Alliance will flourish again.
That's not something you should get your hopes up about. House Ordelia will end with my father.
I'm sorry? I understand you have a distaste for politics, but could you really allow a noble house 3 centuries old to fall to ruin? This goes beyond you and even your house. What would become of Fódlan if all its noble houses withered away in such a manner? The people would be in disarray. The balance of power would crumble. Chaos would rule.
No, it's just... my body, unfortunately, is not built to last, and I have no siblings. When I die, that's the end.
What?
Noble birth has been nothing but a source of pain for me. For me, and for my parents. We got sucked into the rebellion in the Empire, and it led to many responsibilities for us. The things we went through. I can hardly bear to speak of it. All I want now is to give my mother and father the chance to live out their years in peace. I intend to do whatever I can to ease the hardships of our people, while I still have life left in me. Naturally, I worry about what will come to pass after I'm gone. But I'm sure things will work out, so long as there are people like you around working so hard for a better future.
So you have been thinking of the future, even despite all of that. I am so sorry. I had no idea. Lysithea, I have offended you most persistently. Please find it in your heart to forgive my impudence.
Don't worry about it. If you're so insistent upon being my friend, I'm sure more tasty snacks and tea will help persuade me. But if speaking of the future holds such importance, better to find someone who actually has one.
I understand. Yes, let's take tea together again soon.
Oh, that's her alluding to her shortened lifespan again.
I appreciate that she's actually, like, mentioning it, though.
Mm-hmm. Right. Friends Marianne.
Tell me, Marianne, do you have a love of flowers?
Well, I don't dislike them.
I've happened upon a spot that's just teeming with splendid blossoms. Would you like me to show you?
I think I would rather stay. It would be for the best if you kept your distance from me.
Well, perhaps I could pick a few of the nicest and present them to you. With a beautiful bouquet in your arms, your magnificence would rival even that of the goddess.
I would never compare myself to the beauty of the goddess.
I see. Well, I don't mind. Oh, that is a lovely handkerchief you've got there. Did you know that a handkerchief reflects the sensitivity of its owner? Yours tells me you have quite a refined sensibility. If you only applied yourself a little more to the rest of your ensemble, there is no doubt in my mind.
If you admire my handkerchief so much, you may have it.
No, please, that is not what I meant.
It was a gift from my adoptive father. I didn't choose it for myself. I'm sure I don't share his refined sensibilities, though, considering how little he and I have in common. I have to go.
Such beauty. And yet, with just a little polish, she'd be a marvel. If only she'd put in some effort. I wonder. Indeed, I shall make it my mission to awaken her beauty. There is nothing that I, Lorenz Hellman Gloucester, cannot do.
I feel so bad for Marianne.
Yep.
So many people approach her with a goal to change her.
I feel like Marianne... I wonder if Marianne and Bernadetta have support conversations. Because it would be really cool. It'd be really amusing if they don't talk to each other.
I don't know
They're
if
not
they...
even in... Yeah, I don't think they can.
I don't think they do.
But it would just be amusing if their support conversations were literally them just in
Which is
complete
so sad
different
because
rooms.
they would just run away from each other and
Well,
nothing would ever happen.
I was just going to say the support conversation would be them in their rooms, never interacting with each other, just having a good day. And that'd be it. Maybe they get a letter from each other.
All right. Friends will have a conversation with Hilda.
Lorenz, look!
What is it, Hilda? Ah, a letter. From your brother?
That's right. Though part of me thinks it's some stranger imitating my brother's handwriting. He's never given me this much praise. Hilda, you've learnt the value of persistence. You're really maturing, stuff like that. Usually his letters are like, I'm worried about you, and stop being so lazy.
Since I have fought by your side, I can assure you that his praise is genuine and entirely deserved.
I've written about fighting in plenty of letters. Why is he so gushy this time around?
I would venture to guess that your depictions of battle are more passionate than before. It's no surprise that such authenticity would resonate with a veteran warrior like your brother.
If that's true, I have you to thank. You've inspired me to throw myself into battle. Does everyone think I'm a tough warrior now? I don't want to be stuck with their high expectations.
Would that be so terrible? You are gifted, you know. Not to say that your lackadaisical nature has failed to endear itself to me.
I'll choose to take that as a compliment.
Speaking of letters, did you keep your promise? Did you, mention me?
I did. I told my brother all about you. I said you were a uniquely gifted leader who could inspire people to be their best selves. And I said that you'll be a real asset to the Alliance. I also told him how I wished you could join our family. He responded that he'd be honored to call you his brother.
Wait, what?
Truly? Oh, to have such a valiant brother would be beyond my wildest expectations.
Lorenz? You know what I mean about you joining our family, right?
I believe I do. And I confess, if I am correct, that the same thought has preoccupied me as well. But you must forgive me. Now is not the time. Before we can consider our own future, we must first end this war. We must secure a peaceful world.
And if we do attain a peaceful world, then what? Come on! Just say it.
As much as I'd like to grant that request, I cannot. This is something that will deeply affect our lives. It must be said at the proper time and place, with the most artfully chosen words, and the perfect offering. I am Lorenz Hellman Gloucester, after all.
I'm not usually one for waiting around, but maybe I'll make an exception in his case.
This is one of the few support conversations
Where they
that-
actually talk about getting married? Yeah.
Yeah, because, well, in Claude and Hilda's, it was just a, hey, you can meet my parents.
Yeah.
Which is one of those things that you do before you think about marrying someone, typically. Or getting engaged to them, but... I don't know.
I'll buckle up, because we still got more Lorenz.
Yep. Here's a B conversation with Leonie.
Hello, Leonie. Busy as usual, I see.
Yep, lots to do. Not like you fancy nobles. Hey, can't you see all this stuff I'm carrying? Come on, move over already.
Alas, I cannot comply with your request.
Can't even ask a noble to take a step to the side, huh? That's a joke, right? You're kidding.
You've injured your foot. I could tell immediately by the way you are favoring it.
What?
Heavy lifting will only worsen the injury. Please, permit me to examine it.
Hey, cut that out! Isn't that improper or something, bowing to a commoner?
I am not bowing to you. I am tending your wound.
That's not what it'll look like. Hey, it's fine. Leave it.
Easing the burdens of the common folk is a natural obligation of the nobility. Now hold still and keep quiet for a moment, if you would be so kind.
That's a real pretty way to talk about sitting around in castles doing nothing. Let me tell you, everyone in my village is so grateful to be taxed up to the eyeballs for the privilege of... Ow!
Oh, it's quite swollen. And you're feverish. Fortunately, I do have an ointment here that should be of use.
What? You just carry that stuff around with you?
Certainly. It won't do to be unprepared if I happen across someone in need.
I don't get you, Lorenz.
It seems I've neglected to pack bandages. I'm afraid this handkerchief will have to suffice.
What, that fancy thing? Bit of a waste, isn't it? Hey, no thanks. I don't need some noble's pity.
What about the help of a friend? I am as much that as I am a noble, if you recall.
More of your weird logic.
There, that should ease the pain. And since you are recovering, allow me to carry this burden for you as well. There we are. Now, farewell.
I really don't understand that guy. Oh no, I completely forgot to thank him.
Well, you can save that for next time.
It does bug me that most of the male-female, like, interactions do end up with, like, the last conversation being, like, marriage, maybe, and it's like, eh.
Okay, so we have Lorenz and Ferdinand. They're both very knightly.
Ah, that fragrance. Could it be?
Tea!
Ferdinand, I cannot
drink
help but
some more.
notice the exquisite tea you're drinking.
Not many can appreciate it, let alone recognize it. I'm impressed.
Perhaps you would be so good as to indulge me with a cup?
By all means, allow me to pour.
Ah, what a delightful aroma. When I close my eyes, I feel as though I've wandered into a rose garden.
Such a precise, poetic description. But please, drink up. No need to stand on ceremony.
How gracious of you. Very well. Flavor, fragrance, and hue, all in fine harmony. This is a most superior brew. And in a market saturated by pale imitation, no less. You did well to acquire such fine fare.
You are clearly quite passionate about tea. And more than just passionate. You know what it takes to brew a fine cup. To say nothing of your flawless etiquette and sterling attentiveness.
Certainly. Proper etiquette at tea time is one of the surest hallmarks of quality breeding, and the extent of one's attentiveness is quite often indicative of the depth of one's character. The ability of a person of fine stock to exhibit a rich quality of character is precisely what determines whether one is worthy to be called noble. And all of that can be seen in how one handles such a simple thing as a cup of tea.
Ah, marvelously put, Lorenz. I can tell you have given much thought to this subject. And if I may, I have always considered you to be the very model of noble comportment.
Oh, likewise, this has certainly been an extraordinarily meaningful cup of tea.
I wholeheartedly concur. Before we part ways, I would like to offer you some of these leaves.
Truly? Well, I'm flattered, but I cannot simply accept them without offering something in exchange. You simply must allow me to host you in turn, by way of recompense. We shall drink from House Gloucester's finest teacups and enjoy the loveliest of its cakes.
That sounds exquisite. I look forward to it.
Tea time!
All I heard there
Tea.
was the same guy talking to himself. Saying
Indeed.
noble, 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 noble.
Tea.
Tea, 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 noble.
So
noble.
refined.
I just want like
Impeccable
Ferdinand.
taste.
Like I do kind of wish some of these conversations could be done with like multiple characters. Like I really wish they did away with the ABCD and just had like different conversations you could have with multiple characters. Because it'd be great if like Herman. Wait, Hurdle. Hanneman, there we go. I
How
forgot
could
his
you
name.
forget
I was gonna call him
Hanneman's name?
Herman. I'm like, that's wrong. I know it's wrong, but still. But like Hanneman to walk in and all three of them are like T, and that's it. That's just it. Because like it is a bit of a shame that all these conversations are just with like two people. And like I kind of wish there was some like support conversations that were just like all of the golden deer hanging out at the same time, instead of like disparately. You know? I don't know.
Maybe that would be if everyone has a C rank together. They all have a group C rank conversation. I don't know. In any case, Lorenz and Sylvain. I suppose they're gonna try to outwoo the ladies.
I just wanted to say that I've been watching and I'm really impressed by how hard you work. Very dedicated for someone so young.
Oh, thank you.
I really admire your everything. But you know, everybody needs to relax now and then. I was wondering if maybe you and me could...
I'm quite busy. I should get going. Bye.
That was difficult to watch.
Lawrence, ever since you started hanging around, I've had no luck. Usually, if I show a girl I'm mature, noble, and interested, she's an easy catch.
Your logic is sound, I will admit, but your results are less than entirely convincing. Honestly, all this talk of maturity and experience from a shallow person like you is rather laughable.
Shallow? What? Like your nobleness as some properly cultured man of the world?
Naturally, my bearing is as elegant and refined as silk. Observe. You seem to be deep in thought. Is there something on your mind? Please, allow me to lend you my ear. I will gladly shoulder any of your burdens.
Oh, thank you. But it's not something I really want to talk about.
So harsh. Even the slightest worry, I would have been happy to listen.
Why, yes, your silky bearing was quite impressive. You're always going on about nobility, but that's no way to win a woman. Your problem, and I may have told you this before, at least twice, your problem is you're pretentious.
That's rich, coming from you. Your bearing is so flippant that you utterly fail to gain a lady's trust. How can you not see that?
All I'm failing to see is you getting a girl's attention.
How dare you?
Listen, I'm sorry. That was mean. And you're probably right about me not being serious enough.
I will concede, I feel the same. Enough at least to keep your advice at the back of my mind. I was a touch too stubborn.
It's the same in battle, isn't it? If you don't bend a little, you fail.
Even so?
Yeah, with that being said...
I will outclass you, Sylvain.
Bring it on, Lorenz.
Really? And that's the end of their conversations. See, talk class one another. Lorenz and Mercedes, or Mercedes, as they pronounce it here.
Mercedes, I have to insist that you take up a position behind me on the battlefield. I must protect the common folk, and you have been in danger rather frequently of late.
I appreciate your concern, but I can take care of myself. Everything is about nobility and common folk with you, Lorenz. It's tiresome.
Tiresome? I am only fulfilling my duty.
Is that to say you would have left me lying on the floor in pain, had it not been your duty to assist?
You mean when you were hurt on my account? I still would have assisted you, as any commoner would have. It is simply a matter of perspective. And if I were common-born, I would not have simply let you leave without... Never mind. Forgive me.
Excuse me? Are you implying that you would have taken advantage of me if you were lowborn?
What? No! And I am no longer interested in the hypothetical nature of this conversation.
Oh, Lorenz, you'll never change.
What do you mean?
I find myself growing irritated just looking at you.
Is that so? I fail to see exactly how I am so irritating.
You claim that you don't want to be involved with common women, don't you? But I know deep in your heart you love being around us. You're willfully ignorant to that. I hope you know what you're depriving yourself of.
I am certain I've told you before that my marriage must be beneficial to House Gloucester. I've not the time for fruitless courtship.
Fruitless? How can you say such things? What would happen if you fell in love with a commoner?
Nothing at all. I accept the role that I must play, and any sacrifice that must accompany it.
So, your duty as a noble is more important than your own feelings?
Naturally.
If that's true, then your whole existence is rather sad.
I am afraid you misunderstand. This is my choice. There is no cause for pity.
I think I've heard enough. I have to go.
I do wish the 3D models managed to mimic the expressions from the 2D.
Mm-hmm.
If only a little.
Yeah, just a little bit more. Well, that's an interesting one. It would be interesting to see what their
Shaq
A rank
him up
is.
with Manuela.
What? No. She doesn't have a crust either and is also lowborn.
That just amuses
But I
me.
suppose to go back to the whole nobles and commoners things, wasn't it quite frequent in history when a king would have lowborn consorts and stuff?
Constantly, yeah.
On the side, even though they had a wife. It was horrendous business. That's why you ended up with all of the, what was it? All of the children from those unions coming, sometimes they would come and wage war with the actual heirs and then, but at the same time, there were instances in which the actual heirs died and the king had these other
Backup
children.
women. Yeah. Hey, we're discard partners now.
Oh, nice. All right. So in any case, Lorenz and Manuela.
Ah, Lorenz. Do you have a moment to spare, my dear?
Hello, Professor Manuela. I trust all is well with you.
I am quite well, thank you for asking. You are always such a gentleman.
Thank you for saying so. How may I be of service?
I was wondering if we might spend a little time together, maybe chat a bit?
Certainly. It is an honor to speak with someone as elegant as yourself. I've just made tea. Would you like a cup?
Oh, that would be just lovely. Lorenz, I hope you won't think it too forward of me, but I was wondering if you could explain a poem to me. It goes like this. Verdant rains soothe my aching heart like a cherished friend. Amid time's flow I mourn, bonds I'm not sure I can ever rend. as my mind clings to desperate thoughts. Here it comes. Horsebow Moon and Summer's End.
Oh, that's my poem.
As I suspected, I've checked absolutely everyone's handwriting. It's a sad poem, though, isn't it? Feels lonely, possibly even, dare I say, defeated. What makes you feel that way, Lorenz? Why aren't you happy? I very much want to know.
Well, I suppose Wait, why are you reading my poetry? Where did you even get that?
I found it, and when I saw the words, I read them. Well, that's what people do when they see words. They read them.
Kindly return that at once. Reading someone else's work without permission. What an egregious breach of etiquette. Honestly.
Oh, dear. Snatching at something someone else is holding. How violent. It's not like you to lose your composure, Lorenz.
Please, just forget you ever saw it. I beg you.
I'm afraid I could never forget that peek into the darkness of your soul. Nor would I want to.
Then at the very least, would you kindly promise not to mention it to anyone else?
Don't feel embarrassed. No, be proud. It's a lovely piece of writing. Quite revealing. I'd never guess you'd have such hidden depths. Tell me more.
That's quite enough.
Oh, that's absolutely adorable. So bashful. I simply must hear more of his poetry sometime soon.
Ah, Manuela. She just wanted to.
She just wants some of Lorenz's hot poetry.
Wander. Alright, let's see how he fares with Catherine. Probably swords
Hello,
playing.
Catherine. A moment of your time.
Oh, it's you. Yes?
That sword you wear upon your hip. How did you come by it, exactly?
I don't appreciate your tone. Are you implying I swiped it off someone?
Not at all. But heroes' relics are typically passed down through the bloodlines of the 10 elites. You are descended from a noble family, are you not?
That's none of your business.
Actually.
Let's say I was a nobody, with no relic, no crest. I would still be me, wouldn't I? That's not to say lineage counts for nothing. It just doesn't count as much as how you lived your life and what you live for. Or, let's say I was descended from some noble house. Would that change how you treat me?
Yes, it would. To treat you differently from the common folk would only be appropriate.
You're so narrow-minded, tied down by foolish, antiquated notions.
But the nobility and the common folk are different. If the few did not have capabilities to set them apart from the many, then they would not be the few.
Wow. You really think nobles are better than everyone else, don't you?
I didn't mean to suggest...
You pay so much attention to people's lineage and status that you have no idea who they actually are. Even if I was from the prestigious house whatever, I would never associate with a blowhard like you.
Ooh. Well, that's gonna dent his ego. Alright, that's it for Lorenz. I'd say we've learned quite a bit about him. So we have Raphael. Speak with Ignatz. Maybe about their parents.
Yup.
Hey, Raphael. Reading a letter?
Well, if it isn't old Ignatz. I got a message here from my sis.
Oh, a letter from Maya. I haven't seen her in so long. I bet she's all grown up.
Nah, she's still a shrimp. It's been a while since I saw her, but she's probably only up to your shoulders.
Wow. I can't believe she's gotten that tall.
I wrote to tell her about how we're friends again. Do you remember this?
Is that the picture I drew for her?
She sent it along with the letter. I guess she held on to it since we were kids. All right, that's enough looking. She said to show it to you and send it right back.
To think she's handling my little doodle with such reverence. That warms my heart. I remember the day I gave Maya that drawing. She looked so happy. Before then, I never knew I could make people happy with art. It was a revelation. I've been
Aw.
drawing and painting ever since, in hopes of becoming an artist one day.
You're much better now, so it must be paying off. I bet you could be a real artist.
No, that's not possible, I'm afraid. I have to consider my parents' wishes.
Who cares what your parents want? It's not like you're a noble or nothing. Your fate is your own.
Huh. You think so?
I know so. And I'm gonna support you with whatever dream you got. Okay, let me see. What's the first step to follow your dreams? Oh, got it. You should paint me.
Paint you?
Yeah, I want my little sis to know how good I'm doing here. So I gotta send her proof. Plus, she'll be doubly impressed if it's a painting you made.
Good point. I can certainly try to capture your likeness. I'll paint you with a warm, cheerful expression on your face to bring Maya comfort.
My face? No way! You gotta get my muscles in there. Mostly my chest and arms.
Are you sure that's what she'd want to see?
Wait! Before you start painting, I gotta get me a little more training in. If my muscles aren't bulging, then what's the point?
I'm not sure about this.
It's just like...
He just throws off his shirt
Yeah,
and
just like
poses.
strips down to like just his skivvies, like butters himself up so he's nice and shiny. He's like, alright, neck down, waist up, get it in there. And he's just like flexing. So Maya just gets a picture of Raphael's like abs, pecs, and arms. She's like, I would expect nothing less of him. Throws it in the fire.
Right. And he has a peace support conversation. Wow, you've used him a lot.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of my mainliners.
Mm-hmm.
Is that... Raphael?
Yeah, I get it. But you can't be so picky. You need some meat in your diet. I don't know if you can eat human food, but bug meat might be good for you. That's right. You need to eat plenty of bug meat if you want to get big and strong like me. No more sweets for you.
What? He's talking to a bird?
Huh? Is someone there? Oh, Marianne! You're right on time. This little birdie was telling me that he misses you. And, oh, it flew off.
It appears so.
Why do you think birds fly away when there's more than one person around? Birds never seem to stay put unless I'm alone.
Birds are very cautious creatures. They tend to fly away when they're startled.
You mean they're afraid of loud noises? Oops, that was probably too loud for the birds. Come on, Raphael. Keep it down. How's this? Do you think we'd be able to talk to birds together like this? I still haven't met a bird that can speak human. I was hoping you could introduce me.
I thought you were just talking to one.
I was mostly talking at him, not to him. He just said chirp chirp and stuff like that. I had no idea what he was talking about. I don't think he understood me either. Marianne, you always know which birds understand what you're saying, right? Next time you find a bird who understands you, I hope you let me know so I can join the conversation.
Now what am I supposed to do?
She can understand all of them. But he wouldn't be able to understand regardless. Okay, Ingrid.
Huh? Is that Ingrid? I'd better get out of here before she scolds me again. Actually, she looks kind of sad. Maybe I shouldn't run away. Hey! Ingrid! Why do you look so sad? Are you hungry or something?
Oh, it's you. No, I'm not hungry.
You're not hungry, but you're sad anyway? I don't get it. Are you sick?
No.
Then are you sure you're not hungry?
I just told you that wasn't it. It's nothing you can help with anyway.
There's no other care for
Well,
him in the world.
Sometimes you gotta talk it out. That's what my grandpa says.
Yeah, I guess that's helpful sometimes. Are you willing to listen then?
Of course! Please, go ahead.
I found a letter from back at the academy that my father sent, regarding a marriage arrangement with a noble family.
I see, I see.
I am the only person in House Galatea capable of carrying on our family line, of passing on a crest.
Ah, I see. I see.
But I chose instead to fight, betraying my family and ruining my father's plans for me.
I see. I see.
Raphael.
Are you even listening?
I'm right there with you, but...
Did you hear that ominous sound? Was that thunder?
Sorry. All that listening made me hungry. After hearing you out, I think you're probably just hungry too. And your troubles are sure to go away after a good meal.
I really am not hungry. But I can't say no to good food. Alright, let's just eat then. I can tell you about my struggles some other time, maybe.
Ah, food. Food always prevails. Alright, and then we have Flame. And with this conversation, it would probably be her roaring like some kind of ancient beast.
I still have that fan art
that.
saved from the other day.
Huh?
The fan art of Flame holding up a book and yelling, and then Raphael holding up slightly more so she feels more powerful.
Oh, yeah.
I showed it to you, right?
Yeah, you have.
Okay.
I just want them to start roaring and she accidentally lets out a monster roar and goes, oops!
That'd be amazing.
And the funny thing is, he would think nothing of it. He'd be going, wow, Flame, that's awesome!
Yeah, he's the only person that wouldn't even think to question why she can dragon roar.
Nice work. Here you go. Drink up.
Oh, thank you. This water tastes absolutely divine.
Your shouts are really coming from the gut now. I bet you're getting stronger too.
I'm not so sure I'm stronger, but somehow, when I shout, I'm able to move more books than normal. Although my brother becomes very anxious anytime he hears me shouting. I do suppose my body feels a bit sturdier now, though. I'm so very grateful to you, Raphael.
Oh no, thank you. I'm just happy to have someone to shout with.
But doesn't all this shouting keep you from your precious workout regimen?
Nah, don't worry about that. I think I'm in better shape now than I was before. My muscles work overtime when they hear you shouting so close to me.
Isn't that wonderful? Come along, Raphael's muscles. We can do this. It is my wish that someday I'll be able to lift a log all on my own with these arms of mine.
I'm sure they will. I used to think you were a lost cause, but look at you now. If you really want to get there, you gotta start training your muscles when we shout, all right? You've already got big brains, but if we can get you big muscles too, you're gonna be invincible.
Invincible? I like the sound of that. Roar!
Whoa! Ah!
I think that is
That's
actually...
it!
That's it? I'm fine with that being it. I think that was my favorite support conversation train out of all of them, because it was just so cute. Nothing needed to be said, there was no real character development there, it was just fun.
I still wanted her to accidentally let out a dragon roar,
I
but
know.
oh well. Oh well. Oh, he's trying to relax and be stealthy.
My breath.
Careful. You're going to make yourself pass out.
Shamir? I'm so sorry.
Are you trying to breathe like I showed you? Not even close.
That, in-out-out technique sounds so easy, but it's not easy at all.
It's only easy for me because I put in the time to practice. You need to practice if you want it to work.
Oh yeah? Really? So I should be able to do it if I just practice?
Yes.
I see. You had no presence. Again.
Yes. Sometimes my presence fades without even trying. It can be a nuisance.
One of these days, I'm gonna do it, just like you.
Seems unlikely, but keep practicing.
Yeah. Got it. Thanks.
Stop doing it while you're talking. It's disturbing.
Yeah, that's all for his. Let's see what Ignatz can talk with. A
It
ton
never
of
ends.
people.
I'm gonna go find a power strip so I can, like, paint on my iPad or something, because holy shit. We're gonna be here for the whole night.
Oh, hey, it's you. Going for a walk again today?
No, I'm on cooking duty today, and I have to head into town for some groceries.
All on your own? I'd better go with you. I'd be worried if you went by yourself.
No, please, I can manage on my own.
But won't you have a hard time carrying everything back?
Not at all. I'll be fine. I'm just replacing a few ingredients. Also, I may not look it, but I'm actually quite strong. I've been exercising every day.
You're right. You don't look it. Your biceps are a fraction of the size of Raphael's. If you start fumbling around under the weight of all the groceries, and then you trip and spill everything everywhere... Look, I'm just saying that could be your future. It could happen. It doesn't look pretty.
That's what you think of me, huh?
Yep. You're honestly a bit of a mess.
I see. If that's how you feel.
Oh, knock it off with the wounded puppy dog eyes. As though I'm some sort of villain in your story.
I'm sorry. That wasn't my intention. I'm just a bit sensitive, that's all. You're talking like you don't respect me.
I see. So now it's my fault? No matter how grown you seem to think you are, there's so much you're incapable of. You can play at being a mature adult, but it only ever complicates things, and that's exactly what makes you look like a child.
Oh, enough already! Would you just leave me alone?
Maybe I went a bit far that time. But he's so stubborn despite his ineptitude. I can't just leave it be. He's so foolish, constantly making a mess of things. Wait, but then...
No matter how much we stretch, some things are always beyond us. I think it's fine to be vulnerable and ask for help sometimes.
What he said to me before. To everyone else, do I seem just like Ignatz?
Right, which is why you shouldn't be treating him like that, because that's the same treatment everyone else gives you. Alright. A lot of conversations. Let's see. Marianne B.
Hey, Marianne? Are you there?
Yes. Can I help you?
Do you have a minute?
Huh? Oh,
Then, if you don't mind, would you come with me for a moment?
So, did you need something from me?
Yes, indeed. I have an urgent request.
Have I done something?
Oh, no, it's nothing like that. Really, you don't have to worry. Would you close your eyes, please?
Then how will I know where I'm going?
Just take my hand. That's it. There, right there. Perfect. Now open your eyes.
Oh, the town is glowing from the sunset.
Yes. Isn't it beautiful?
Very much so.
I was looking at it earlier and I thought to myself, I have to show Marianne.
But why me?
Because you're always looking at your shoes. You never get a chance to appreciate the scenery.
Oh,
See, the best thing about the scenery is, it's always changing. With the weather, the time of day, the season. So every view is unique. Never to be repeated. If no one sees it, it's lost.
You could have just enjoyed it on your own.
I wanted to share this beautiful landscape with you.
Thank you. I'm not sure what to say.
Hey, that's okay. I won't try to express this beauty in words either. Just look and remember. This will make for a nice memory. And maybe remember that I was here too.
I will. I really will.